Good evening, guys, and welcome to Midnight Reiki. My name is Jamie, and tonight we're going to be doing a session to work on our higher heart chakra. So, we're going to be working on the activation and evolution of our unconditional love center. If that sounds like something you're interested in, you can connect here to our aquamarine. You can connect to the sound of my voice, you can connect via eye contact, and we're also going to do an energy merge. So if that sounds like you can go ahead and connect now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we're just going to immediately begin sending that angelic Reiki energy to your heart center. And we're going to ask it to assist us in opening up to the highest accessible vibration of love at this time. And this has been coming up a lot lately, so we're probably going to do 2 or 3 sessions tonight for the heart chakra. There have been a lot of messages coming through as well, and I think it's because such a big collective is working through a really big past blockage of some sort. And I don't even like to use the word blockage because it's not necessarily a block. It was a lesson, if that makes more sense for someone, something you had to walk through. And it was almost realizing that you had to go through it was the lesson. And I don't remember what I was going to say. Okay. So some of the messages that were coming through specifically for our first session, Mercury retrograde I think is over tomorrow. But this is for someone who's specifically working in their heart space right now to create peace and working on creating space for joy. And what's coming through is a tool that you may be underutilizing is your imagination. And I know I bring this up a lot. I bring it up a lot because it comes up a lot. And as adults, we tend to stop using that tool because we associate it with silliness. We associate it with play instead of maturity, and we sort of lose a really important aspect of our ability to create things that aren't currently in our lives, things that we don't have the ability to focus on in the present in order to create that for ourselves. So we have to imagine it. We have to sort of fake it till you make it. I don't know if I like that saying, to be honest. And it's also helpful. There's a lot of past healing going on, a lot of really heavy, sticky, sort of traumatic roots. I'm seeing like that someone is ripping out of their life. And it can be really difficult to look at that as it's coming out because those things can be really painful and they can pull up things that we're not consciously prepared to deal with because we didn't realize that something was an underlying issue to something else. So you can, one, reimagine a past story. So you can reimagine a situation in a way that would be empowering to you, which doesn't take away your pain and it doesn't devalidate the fact that you went through what you went through, but it gives your mind, your brain, a different option, a different way that it can choose to feel aside from the one thing that did happen. So you're not gaslighting yourself, you're giving your brain a different route to take the next time that trauma response comes up, that trigger comes up. So there's a word for that. There's an actual word for that. I think I don't know what it is. Yeah. What was the other part? Oh, the other part. I don't know how to explain this. I think a lot of creative people do this. At least a couple of people I spoke to in college also did this, where when I'm having trouble healing something because I'm too close to it, but it's something I'm in a space where I can address it now, and I need to address it now, or at least I need to attempt to address it now, you can use sort of a displacement energetically where you imagine yourself as a character, as someone else who is capable, or maybe not capable, who you think would be more inclined to handle the situation in a way that you yourself don't think that you would come up with. Does that make sense? I really hope it does. You don't want to continue in the cycle that you've been going, so you imagine that you are a different character, or you imagine yourself with different traits, or you simply imagine someone else that you have an easier time believing would handle it the way you want it handled. And that also opens up your mind to different scenarios and different options and different feelings as you're working through past issues and trying to heal. And also, while you're trying to usher in new energies, maybe you're not feeling a lot of peace in your day-to-day life, so you need to generate that. And you can use your imagination to do that. Okay. There was this one's really random. I don't know who it's for, but I'm going to say it because it came up twice. I had to look this up. Something about a redundancy principle. I think it has to do with multimedia learning. And the idea is where if you are listening to something you're learning and seeing like a physical diagram or some other kind of visual aid, that helps you learn. But if you're hearing something and also reading the thing you're hearing, the redundancy principle says that you're losing information instead of learning it more quickly. I hope that helps someone. It kept coming up. I don't know why. I'm not doing any kind of multimedia learning at the moment, so I hope that helps whoever it's for. Okay. We're going to wrap this up. But first, so we're going to call in flexibility and give ourselves permission to access that open, free heart space, and at the same time sort of free ourselves up mentally in our mental space to play internally, and to think of things that maybe you wouldn't typically imagine for yourself. Use different characters or different scenarios to create a different feeling. I really hope that makes sense. It can get you out of a healing rut because it takes you out of yourself and into a higher perspective, because you're imagining from different perspectives. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're going to be done now. I love you guys. We're going to anchor that in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. And we'll do the next one. I love you guys.